Well, yeah, there's nothing but lagers.
Dave, you're in the middle of the anti-lager.
Oh yeah, no, I'm in the Haze Boys.
You were
Oh,
smack
you're in the
dab.
pastry stout, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, there's the pastry stouts.
You literally have a pastry stout in your glass.
They found the face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he heard who was there?
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room. It is Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hey guys, happy Festivus. Festivus for the rest of us.
There you go.
That's all. Those are all beer cans from Rhode Island Craft Brewers.
Yep. Oh, you got your Festivus pole in action right there, huh?
Yeah, it's
There you
kind of leaning a little bit, but that's all right.
It's okay. Well, it's a Festivus pole of beer cans. It's supposed to be leaning.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm all decked out in festive holiday gear here, as well as you. Look at your shirt; that is very nice. Did you get that at the Star Wars store, or
No.
Or did you get that on Tatooine?
No, it wouldn't be Tatooine. I think I found it amongst the dregs in Dathomir,
There you go.
somewhere along the mist with the sisters.
That's true. There you go. All right. I just thought maybe the troopers opened up a gift shop in Tatooine. You know.
And they opened up fire and missed everybody.
Anyway, yes, that is what's going on today. It is Festivus. Later on in the podcast, we will be airing some of the grievances, and then we'll experience some feats of strength as well.
We have to start off with airing of the grievances. I was schooled on how this is supposed to go.
Well, why don't we bring in our guest before we air the grievances? Because he might have some grievances he wants to air.
Yes, let's do that.
Absolutely. Folks, with us today from Bristol, Rhode Island, is none other than Mr. Kyle Michaud from 12 Guns Brewing. Let's welcome him to the show. Did I say that right? Did I pronounce your last name right?
Yeah, you did.
There you go.
Nice.
I tried.
Right on.
How's it going today, Kyle?
It's going good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Just, finished this afternoon. Well, earlier this afternoon, I finished up the last little bit of shopping I had to. So I should be good. I'm sure something else will pop up, but
Yeah, of course.
But it's definitely beer time now. So with this being the Festivus, the day of Festivus here, we were just about to air some grievances. You have any to air?
I don't yet.
You don't yet. You might.
Night's young.
The night is young. Dave, why don't you tell us what the actual order is, Gad? You were about to say before we brought Kyle on.
Well, I only know of the three things. People are going to boo me here. I was not a huge Seinfeld fan, but I know it starts off with the airing of grievances, then you have the feats of strength. But what I was told is that Festivus does not end until someone gets pinned.
Until someone gets pinned, yes. And the backstory, I don't know if you actually know this, is that one of the writers, Dan O'Keefe, I believe his name is, he's one of the writers on the Seinfeld show. Festivus was actually a thing before the show, but only in his family. His mother and father actually started it, just something to do prior to Christmas. So they did it just in their family, and their whole family, one of them had to get pinned. That was how that went.
That's nice.
That's what it was. But it was just in their family, and then he had been mentioning it around the set and talking to Jerry Seinfeld and everything else, and Jerry was like, "We have to do this on the show." So that's how it became part of the show.
And they handed it over to Jerry Stiller, and that's genius.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, just got to throw this up there. Our number one fan, Brian Alt. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Brian. We didn't pour our beers yet, otherwise we cheers you back. So we'll just say cheers right now.
Well, Kyle's can's open. He's cheating.
Kyle's can's open. Why don't we open our beers? Kyle, while we open our beers, what are you drinking for this serious beer tonight?
So I've pulled Torpedo Station. Oop, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is our flagship New England IPA. We've been making it since we opened last October. It's gone through a lot of process changes, so it's better than it ever has. We get a lot of feedback from customers that say, they come in and every single batch has just been better and better. So I'm really happy with the way that the recipe has progressed thus far, and only up from here, I guess.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. What are you drinking there, Mr. Samurai?
Well, I'm going to start off with the glass. I've got this big old 12-gun glass here.
Where'd you get that?
Actually, it's really kind of not that big. This is not going to fit in there. So I've gone another direction. I'm going to keep that glass clean. I did get that at my first visit to the brewery. I've been a few times. I had to stop in when you guys did your Black is Beautiful, and that was actually maybe my favorite version of it.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Such a well, that's not going to work now, is it? It's a good thing I brought the whole 4-pack with me. So we'll be filling this. How many? You think four will fill of 1 liter, won't it?
4 should fill a liter, yeah.
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 Of
64
course,
ounces. So a
of
liter's
course,
what? A liter's 66 and change, or 67 point.
There's no math on the show, John. There's no math on the show.
67.6.
New rule. No math on the show. Liz poured the hell out of it, so it's going to take a little while. So, yeah, we have introduced the fan base to the concept of the Liz pour.
Liz pour, absolutely.
Liz pour.
While you open up your third and fourth can to fill that glass, I'll be drinking Bradley Brew Project in Bradley Beach, New Jersey.
Bradley Breach.
Bradley Breach.
Another-
Bradley Beach, New
there was
Jersey.
another
You think I was drinking
storm.
already?
There's another storm and it went right through the beach. And we have a breach.
It was a breach, yes. It's called All the Family is Together. It's a
For Festivus.
it's an alt beer.
Nice.
Hey.
And then I'm drinking this one for Brian. So it's a 5.5% alt.
Actually, you know what? It fills up with 3, John. Your math was faulty.
Well, it
This is
depends
why we don't do math
depends
on
on
the
the head
show.
you got going on there. So
No, even no, that's 3.
there you go.
So
That's
this
3?
is yes. So even though
Well, then it's not a liter.
that's supposed to be a liter. I don't know. Yo, doggy.
Actually, you know what? I take that back.
Yes, no math.
My math was bad. A liter is, I'm thinking a 2-liter bottle is 67.6. A 1 liter is 33.8.
New rule, no math. Okay,
Exactly.
First grievance. John
There you
doing
go.
math.
But you
On the
poured
toilet.
3 in there. 3 12-ounce cans is 36 ounces, is it not?
It is.
So how the hell did
Right.
you pour? How'd you fit 36 ounces in a 33.8 ounce glass?
It's a Festivus miracle.
It's a Festivus miracle. So, well,
Cheers.
cheers guys.
Cheers.
This is my feat of strength right here. Lifting
That's
this
your
bad
feat of
boy.
strength. Well, I wasn't going to drink out of it, but I pulled out this for my feat of strength. There we go.
There you go.
That's amazing.
It's actually
That's-
bigger. It's actually bigger than it looks, and a little heavy too. So
You know what, John? It's a good thing only 3 fit in here because I can save you this one.
there you go.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, you'd like this, but man, it's. How did you kind of get that it almost feel of like meringue flavor in there?
Yeah, it's a proprietary recipe. But we
Do you honestly think he was just going to spell it out for you right here?
right, yeah. It was
Well,
a lot of
let's
trial
see.
and error to get that in there.
Very nice. Very nice.
We
We have another comment here from Brian. He wants to know that it's a Christmas tree, Brian.
It's not a tumor.
It's a Christmas tree, Brian.
That's funny.
Wasn't that a line from a song back in the 90s? What the hell is on Joey's head, actually? That was the line from the... Anyway. So, all right. Cool. That's great. So it is Festivus. You want to air some grievances now that we've poured the beers? Dave?
So I already aired my grievance. You doing math on the show.
That's true.
Gotta stop. That's got to stop.
Well, I'm going to air my grievance. Me doing math on the show. That's the...
Yeah,
that's
so
my
agreed
grievance.
on that one.
So, all right, cool. Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the background or the backstory to 12 Guns? That's what
Sure.
everybody
Yeah,
that's
First,
tuning in wants to know.
where's the name from?
There you go.
Yeah,
That
so
would be part of the backstory.
when I decided to go down the road of doing this, I decided that a brand image needs a story. So I started looking at a lot of Rhode Island history and came across the story of the USS Providence, which there's been a few different variations made, but the first one was referred to as the Katy. It served in the Continental Navy. It was actually the first ship commissioned by the Continental Navy, and it was a 12-gun ship. Served in the Revolutionary War. The crew destroyed it so the British couldn't take it, and then like a year or two later, they made the Katy 2, which was the exact same ship but rebuilt.
Nice.
Very nice.
So they didn't want the British to catch the Katie. Nice.
Right.
So that's
it's a music reference. I'm sorry. That one's very.
no, that's fine. If I could play them on the podcast, I would have played them on the podcast.
Right? You can't.
I can't. We're not unless I get express written permission.
Right.
I cannot. So, what's oddly enough, I don't know if you listen to the beginning music, the intro and outro music on this podcast and the sports podcast were both from a band named Log, and the band is out of Denver, Colorado. In fact, the bass player and lead singer of the band Log, and one of the songwriters in the band, is actually Harry Lugnuts from the sports podcast. So obviously, we have permission to use the songs. The very first time we uploaded any of these videos, before we actually started broadcasting live on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, the very first time we uploaded the videos, YouTube caught it and forbidded us to use the video because it was from a band that we didn't have permission from. And I had to actually write in and say, hey, the guy in the podcast wrote the damn song without permission. So,
is it forbidden or forbade?
Forbade. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're talking about 12 Guns Brewing. That's why Kyle's here.
This is true. Well, you brought up the music, so I just threw that little factoid in there. So. Anyway, so yeah, you were gonna go somewhere with Kyle's backstory. So that's an interesting.
What I wanted to bring up about it is so my third time at the brewery. So my first time at the brewery, man, you guys had this fantastic Roush. We talked about it. I loved that beer. You hadn't really been open that long when I was there the first time.
Right.
Last time I was there with a couple of coworkers, and we started talking. And if you remember, I asked you, I said, so who's the owner? And you went, well, I'm the owner. And you probably saw the look on my face. And even, my coworkers were like, he's the owner? Because let's face it, you were the youngest guy in the room.
Sure.
Right? So what challenges does that have for you? From what I understand, you went through the Johnson and Wales program?
Yeah.
And then was it right out of that you opened the brewery?
The brewery was almost completed. We were moving equipment in while I was still in the program. So
nice. So
really?
So
that's
pretty
awesome.
much right out.
Yep.
So what challenges have you had being so young in this world? Were you immediately accepted by the rest of the brewers who've been around for a while?
Yeah. It hasn't been too tough. Luckily, in the way that I've kind of been raised in my professional experience with, while it's limited, has been, pretty extensive. I come from the Lego toy company for 6 years and Kraft Heinz, so the ketchup and mac and cheese people, doing corporate sales for them as well. So I understood the business. I had owned a business before that I actually had sold while I was just coming out of high school. So, the entrepreneurial adventure was not too new for me.
So you sold a business. Just want to back up a second. You sold a business as you were graduating high school?
Yep. Yeah.
When did you start the business?
In the middle of high school. So
I was going to say, please tell me sixth grade. I really wanted to hear.
Yeah. It was only around for 2 years.
That's awesome. Congrats on that.
So I knew that's what I wanted to do.
We went Lego, then Kraft, and then interesting. So if anybody could ever do a Kraft mac and cheese beer, you've got an inside.
I'm sure someone's tried.
I don't know how that would be.
Yeah. As far as the age thing, going into the business and obviously trying to secure funding for it and all of that, I pretty much had all my T's crossed and I's dotted. So everything was buttoned up in a way where the documentation and the projections were so solid with the business plan that I had made that the lenders felt comfortable of taking the chance with us, which was good. As far as in the industry here, it's more of like an unspoken thing. I can see it sometimes. There's definitely times where either people are like, oh, I've heard it from employees before, they're like, their friends will be like, oh, how do you like working for that kid? Or, kid this, kid that.
Oh,
but when it comes down to it, the way that I run this place is, I value my employees a lot, and I always do what I can. I'm not the type of owner that's trying to own, huge houses and multiple Ferraris. So I'm always dumping money back into the business and back into my employees. And, you know, as we're starting with our expansion right now with the new building right next door, you know, it's all just focus forward. So.
Yeah, that's important when you're young, is to come into it when you're managing, you know, everybody who's older than you. Let's see, I started management when I was like 19, and man, I made some mistakes to begin with, right? Yeah, the first thing is, a young person's like, you want to exert your authority, and that never works, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to build respect by giving respect.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I think
I've seen you interact with your staff, and it's obvious that, you know, that's the case there.
Yeah. They're definitely my priority. I'm here a lot, even though I have a full production team and a full front of house team where I don't technically need to be here every day. I'm still very active in what we do here, and obviously running the company I'm incredibly active in. But as far as getting everything done on time and stuff, I make sure that everybody's filled in. I make sure that everything's happening in a certain way. We have SOPs that are dialed in to, you know, a T. They're extensive. They're very long. Which actually helps with insurance costs too. But as far as the age thing, I mean, I think it's more of an advantage because it's not really spoken outright all the time, but I can see it. And the only thing that happens is they're like, oh, you know, he probably doesn't know what he's doing, which is fine. You can think that, and then, you know, in a few years, we'll be this huge thing, and we'll just be excelling in a way that like people don't understand. So that's fine with me.
When how long has 12 Guns been open?
So we opened October of 2019, so just over a year now.
Just over a year, and you're building a new building, expanding already. So I think that can speak volumes right there. You don't need to wait for anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, my management nerd button went off when he said SOPs.
Yeah,
the brewery had SOPs. Not every brewery has SOPs.
Right.
I know.
Not every brewery knows what SOP stands for, too.
This is the case.
That's true. Yeah. Some breweries don't even.
I'm sure there are some. Yeah, this is true. Let's make beer. That's their business plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you get the
see where it goes.
Just shut up and do what I do. What I tell you to do.
Right.
And,
Yep.
But yeah. No,
see where it goes. That's a good name for a goza. See where it goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna steal it.
Oh, there you go.
Write it down. Just give the lager room a little nod on the label.
Yeah.
That's
collab with the lager room. There you go.
Yep.
So. I'll come in and watch while you mash in. We'll call it a collab.
Perfect.
There you go. Well, that's pretty much what collabs are. I mean, you know.
True. That's true.
So.
Sometimes there's some insert into the recipe.
I've done a collab where I've milled 3 bags of grain. Boom, that was my job. That was the collab. No.
They trusted you to do that too.
Absolutely. So.
That's the fun work.
Absolutely. Yeah. But anyway, so that's great. I mean, it's a great story, and I got to be honest. I have as of yet not had the beer. I would.
I'm working on it.
Dave is working on it.
And I would have. Won't get stolen.
If it wasn't for I'm sure you can guess. It wasn't for the pandemic. I probably would have been up in Rhode Island like 3 times this year. So
right.
You know, we would have not only would I have had the beer, but we've met a couple of times. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This, but in any event, yeah, that's an awesome story, and the fact that you're expanding. What size your brew house right now?
So we're a 10-barrel production facility right now, which is. The way that the way that the brewery is laid out is our equipment is like it's literally in the tap room, so everybody sees end to end that everything is made here. We do everything in house, everything from brewing to packaging, shipments, everything happens right in here. We can't hide anything, which is why all of our equipment is incredibly clean every time you come in.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's what you see is what you get in here. The new building will be 3,000 square feet, which will actually be bigger than the brewery right now. And that'll house a bunch more fermenters, a professional canning line, which is bigger than the one that we have right now, and a lot of storage space because we have a lot of pallets laying around right now.
Gotcha. Are you moving the brew house in there? Or are you going to leave the brew house in the tap room?
We're going to leave it just because, people have told me that I have a sexy brewery because of all the shiny stainless steel that's laying around. So I want to keep it sexy, and the new building's only going 10 feet off of the wall that the brew house is sitting on anyway,
that's
so
easy.
We'll just pipe it over to the new building.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
Would that allow you to expand distribution as well?
Yep. Yeah, we should be able to pick up fourfold on what we're doing right now, and the distributor is already committed up to 100% for it. So it's looking good.
Yeah, for the show, I stopped in up at Medford and couldn't find you there, but Nikki's carriage just so.
Yep. Yeah, we're not in Massachusetts yet. I have to submit for permitting to distribute into Massachusetts.
I'm sorry, not Medford. Mendon.
Mendon. Gotcha.
Yes.
Did you using 10 buffer meters, or you double batch? You got 20s.
The brew house is actually 5-barrel, so we're double batching into our 10s right now.
I got you.
And then we're gonna put 15s in the new building, so we'll be triple batching.
Triple batching, cool, awesome. That'll definitely expand your would you say fourfold? You're gonna expand it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what it should be. We're doing probably, I don't know, maybe around 1,200 cases a quarter right now with our distributor. So we'll be able to pick that up significantly, especially since we have a sub brand now, which is called Cannon and Anchor, and it only deals with hard seltzer. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Made that. How did you find that jump into that market? Dipping your toes.
I was like, hey, what can pay the bills? Hard seltzer.
There you go.
One way to survive COVID.
And it's such a chore to make hard seltzers these days too, and it's it takes such a long time. It's like lagering, It's
Yep. Yeah, we have a pretty good we have a pretty good process, so it's incredibly efficient at this point. But I will say that with the sarcasm, it seems like it's very easy, but our first 5 batches were almost undrinkable. So we landed on a recipe now that is proving itself to yield really good results. Our distributor loves it. We get a lot of feedback from the market who comes in and tries it that says that it's actually probably one of the best that they've had. So I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. You can and everything. You got some draft cells too with it.
Of the seltzer.
Seltzers, yeah.
Yeah, it's all cans. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't.
You do an old package for everything with that. Yeah, gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, when I was there last, you had the variety pack sample. Mm-hmm. Is that been approved and going out?
Yep. Yeah, we're just waiting for those variety pack boxes to land in the U.S. It saves us about $2,000 to have them made overseas, so that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, you don't want to. If you can save that kind of coin, you definitely want to do that.
Yep, especially right now.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Cool. Well, I mean, best of luck to you, and I hope to get up there very soon. I definitely want to check out the space. And how long before the new facilities open?
We were supposed to break ground in March, and then COVID. So we still haven't broken ground, but the land is level, and we have our equipment sitting on the pad site right now. So we're waiting for the town to finalize a couple permits, and then we're good to go. Gotcha.
Cool. Awesome. Well, good luck with that. Hope it all goes smooth for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. When we jump to, we'll touch back on some questions in a bit. Why don't we jump to some news for a minute? Little brewery news, little beer news. I got a couple things. I don't know what you have, Dave, but have you heard the story of Hershey suing the brewery in Wakanda, Illinois?
Yeah, because they are a really tiny brewery. They're putting in some
they used Jolly Ranchers and they used Milk Duds, and they advertised it was a Milk Dud porter and sour made with Jolly Ranchers and everything else. And they didn't have permission.
Used the brand names.
They used the brand names. Yes. So they sent. Apparently, they sent this brewery. It's Side Lot. Is the name of the brewery. It's in Wakanda, Illinois.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda, yeah. I just anytime I hear Wakanda, I think of Dan Aykroyd in Ghostbusters, saying they used to roast whatchamacallit, the marshmallows, Stay Puft marshmallows at Camp Wakanda. Camp Wakanda, yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, they Hershey sent them a cease and desist, and they ceased and desisted. But now Hershey's is looking for $8,500 right now as payment for using their name, and basically, as the story goes, he's not able to write an $8,500 check.
GoFundMe, do a GoFundMe,
right? And they demand it by January 4th. So, You know what? I mean, I get it. They didn't use his name, and trademark names are obviously, not something to screw around
but you
with.
don't got to be a douche about
But
it.
come on, you sent them a cease and desist.
Right.
They ceased and desisted. Enough.
Yeah,
Let it
right.
go. I mean, I'm sure they made enough of their some extra money through Yingling with the porter.
Yeah, they stepped into the beer world and got too big for their britches. Well,
Exactly.
still Hershey. So I guess
Plus, what's 8,500 to Hershey's?
Yeah.
Exactly. And something tells me Trogs probably brews a couple of beers with Hershey's. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Maybe some small batches. Just gonna guess.
But probably
With
permission to consider they're almost. I froze.
There you go. There you froze. There you go.
Yeah.
Now you're warm again. You unfroze.
No,
There you
it's the sweater.
It's definitely the sweater. So,
Yeah, that's the only problem with being on this rig is this rig doesn't have as good of a connection to the Wi-Fi as the other one.
So we're all good. So that's my take on it anyway. I don't know. That's just me. I think they should have, they made their point and the guy stopped. But you know what?
They should have just aired their grievances and moved beyond it.
Exactly. Today's the day to do that. Just throw it all out there, be done with it, move on. That's next. That's it. But anyway, So that's what I have for that. Did you had a new opening, didn't you?
Yeah, Rhode Island had an opening on Tuesday. We've got a lot of things going on in Rhode Island. Rejects opened. They're just a bit south of Kyle, right? They're down in Middletown. And like Kyle, what they did is they dove into some Rhode Island history, but they dove into some of the counter history, the alter history. It's named after a beach called Rejects Beach, which was kind of like an alt sat. So that's kind of neat. They've got eight taps. They've got one thing that they're listing that I'm really interested in trying. They're doing a Mexican mole stout.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think that's one of the ones they're doing right out of the. It's a seasonal, but it's the season for it. So I think they're doing that right out of the chute. So they're going to be open tomorrow, and my flight's not till 8 p.m. So maybe and they open at 11, so I might have to shoot down.
Might you? Well, Mexican mole stout's right up your alley, so.
Oh yeah.
Foolproof just came out with one, I think yesterday as well.
Oh, he's got a whole week. Oh no, I'm sorry. Lobs has got a whole week of Imperial Stouts coming up.
A whole week of Imperial Stouts, whether it's in one a day.
Apparently, we'll have to follow that one closely. And I'm going to be in Florida. Sean puts out stuff right in my wheelhouse, and I won't be here.
Maybe shoot him an email. Maybe he can hold one aside for you. You can pick it up when you get back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do that.
There you go. So, Foolproof, you said did one as well.
Yep, yeah. Foolproof just announced it. I saw it on social media, I think yesterday. So our head cellarman right now actually still pulls some hours at Foolproof. So I know he'll at least bring some down next time he's here, which would be nice.
Gotcha.
I love trying their stuff.
Did he bring up any of that fantastic peanut butter stout of yours?
Oh yeah. So it's nice because we get to use some of their equipment. Nick, the owner's gracious enough to let Matt do that. So when we do canning runs, we can use their DO to read our dissolved oxygen in the cans, just so that we can know where we're at as far as shelf life and stuff. So,
nice.
Foolproof is good friends to us.
That's awesome.
And
You gotta have them.
Are they still for sale, like forever?
I don't want to speak to that because I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I could only assume that his distribution stuff picked up during COVID. So, I haven't heard any more, so I can't say anything to it.
Yeah, that was the biggest news in Rhode Island when I first got here was that Foolproof was for sale, and it's still not sold, which is good news.
Yeah.
I think everyone's holding their breath because I don't think anybody wants him to sell because he does some good stuff up there. He's got some really nice sours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a home brand for the state. They've been around. Definitely not the longest, but at least one of the top 5 for longevity here. Because I think he's either at year 8 or maybe just over year 8. So
yeah, I was there a while ago, so he's been around for a bit, and the distribution reach is pretty good too. I mean, they're down in Jersey right now too, so
for sure, yeah.
And you would think in those 8 years it'd fill some of those potholes on the way in.
But you guys got anything coming down the pipe you want to put out there?
As far as beer.
Beer, yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I just added our last additions of fruit to a blueberry cobbler sour today, which is part of our pastry sour series. So the key lime pie was the first one. Now we're going to have blueberry cobbler. We have something a little bit different that you don't see too much in the state. We're doing a Belgian Golden Strong Ale. Which will be pretty cool. It's one of the assistant brewers. It's one of his personal recipes, so we're letting him take the reins on that, which is fun.
Sure.
Like a DT.
We have a really good New England IPA that we use New Zealand hops in, which I'm super excited about because it's very similar to the hype New England IPAs that you'll find at some of the more popular breweries in the state for sure. So it's definitely a good contender.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Dave, by the way, just to mention, you know that my second favorite pie is key lime, and my first favorite pie is blueberry. So if you can, when you do get a 4 or an 8-pack or whatever, put one of them aside with that key lime pie can too.
Absolutely, yeah. As he finishes it.
There you go. So, awesome. Well, seeing as you finish your beer, why don't we open our next ones?
Feats of strength.
Feats of strength.
I don't know if this counts as pinning it down.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know if this counts as pinning it down. We'd have to ask Jason Shaw if that will count. Or we could just have someone take the locker room and pin it to their Pinterest page.
There you go.
That would work. There we go.
That would do. Pin it.
Yeah.
So,
shameless plug.
Somebody out there, please pin this so we can say we completed the 3 phases of Festivus.
And the festivities are closed.
Festivus festivities. So what do you got for your second beer there, Dave?
Oh, well, because I just drank 3 5.5%ers at 12 ounce. I'm gonna go with Prairie Artisan Ales Christmas Bomb.
Look at that, Prairie Artisan Ales Christmas Bomb.
Yeah, this is only what, 13%?
Is it 13?
I think.
I'll change it.
No, hold on. I'm not remembering.
Well, that's a 13%.
Yeah, why are you changing? It is 13.
Yeah, there you go, 13%.
So I'm actually pouring it into a civil society glass because I will be down in Florida and maybe see my brother who's at civil society all the time.
There you go, very nice.
Civil society made it up to Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm. Civil societies in Rhode Island. Yes, you did tell me that. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Had a little comments the other day.
Very nice.
The day of the big conjunction that we couldn't see.
Is that this year's Christmas bomb, or is that last year's Christmas bomb?
No, this is this year's Christmas bomb.
That's this year's?
Even though Nikki's does have, age stuff, they do have vintage.
Didn't we have last year's Christmas bomb on Christmas, you and I?
Oh, yeah. What I remember of that day.
So, all right. Kyle, what are you drinking for your second beer?
So my next one's an unlabeled can because it's a low fill that I stole from our fridge.
There you go.
But this one is Nutty Professor, which is our peanut butter stout that we just redid. It's our second batch. It's a new and improved recipe. We used a different style of peanut butter addition to it, so it's a lot more forward. It's if you've ever had Mass Landing's Gunner's Daughter, it's
sure
pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's I've had both the iterations of it, and yeah, this one is so much more peanut forward.
Yeah, it's
nice.
really good.
Whereas the first one, you got a lot more of the roast in front of the peanut butter. This time, the roast is the peanut butter starring.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I'm a fan of Gunner's Daughter, so I'm sure I would love that beer. So.
Here's another pen.
There you go. I will be partaking in Victory Merry Monkey.
They have
nice.
They have played this line to death, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Are there more monkeys or more monks at this point?
I think there's more monkeys. There's regular golden monkey. There's sour monkey. There's merry monkey.
Dirty monkey.
Dirty monkey. There's a lot of monkeys.
The whole barrel full of monkeys.
In Doylestown, Pennsylvania, there's a lot of monkeys going on there. So. This is merry monkey. It's a Belgian style.
Doylestown? I thought it was Downington.
Downington, not Doylestown. Downington. Okay. You're right. It's a Belgian style, strong, I believe, with cranberries, orange peel, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Nice. That sounds good.
10%. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. I'm pouring it now. I'm actually looking forward to this one. Got it the other day, haven't had it yet. So there we go. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
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 Daddy's gonna sleep well tonight.
Oh, that's nice. That's pretty tasty. All right. So, should we move on to 33s?
The 33s.
The dreaded 33s.
I did not explain to Kyle why we call it why we decided on top three and why we call it the 33s.
The top three list we call the segment 33s. It's in paying tribute to 1933, December 5th, Repeal Day. So
Right on.
33. So there you go. So it's top threes. We were going to do on the sports podcast, we do a top 10. So the top 10s between three of us would go on forever. We'd have to start them at the beginning of the podcast. So we're doing...
in the sports podcast, they all agree on the 10. I hear there's a lot of thumb wrestling and fighting.
We usually, the top 4, 5, or 6 are usually in lockstep. Even if one's out of order a little bit, we move it around depending on what. But the last four, like tonight, we're doing defensive backs, top 10 defensive backs in NFL history, and whatchamacallit, we actually there were ties for 6th, 9th, and 10th. So we would have had 13 in the top 10. So we moved a couple around too.
I'm hoping Ronnie Lott's way up there.
You would think you're gonna have to tune in to find out. I can't tell you. I can't deliver that information.
I may be passed out by then, John.
But anyway, so we decided to make it top threes, and this way we can go around and each of us have our own three and talk about it and agree and everything else. So,
did we give you enough time? Did we give you enough time to think about it, Kyle?
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah. All right. So, who should go first?
Before we, let's see if Kyle has on the list because we do have an honorable mention in case it's not mentioned.
Go ahead.
But go ahead, Kyle.
So yeah, you start.
So
I'm gonna let Kyle start.
do you want to hear all three?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start with number 3. Number 3 for me is gonna be Elf.
Okay.
That's a solid.
And you got to know because I'm 25 years old, so there's some movies that are not going to make the list because I probably never saw them.
Right.
Number 2 for me is going to be Die Hard.
That was our honorable mention, right?
That's our honorable mention. If it wasn't pulled up on a list, Die Hard. I'm sorry, folks. Die Hard is a Christmas movie, folks.
And then number 1 for me is the Jim
Christmas
Carrey
movie.
Grinch.
Jim Carrey Grinch. There you go.
I told you that would be on his list, didn't I?
Absolutely. We did talk about that.
His generation all
Absolutely.
loved that movie.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well,
Absolutely.
we grew up with Boris Karloff reading the book to us.
Right.
So to us, Jim Carrey playing the Grinch, where it was cool and he did a great job.
It wasn't quite the same.
Where
It was different.
Right.
It was right. But so that's good. So number 3, Elf. Number 2.
It was a lot of fun.
No, it's a great movie. Yeah. Number 3, Elf. Number 2, Die Hard, and number 1, Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Shall I go, or you want to?
Go ahead, John.
I'll go. Okay. So, I'll do them in reverse as well. Number 3 is actually is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's my third favorite Christmas movie. That would be Trading Places,
Which explains
the shirt I am wearing. Duke and Duke Commodities Brokers. There you go. Right there. There you go.
Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, the aforementioned Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. And yeah, we talked about Dan Aykroyd already.
And
Eddie Murphy.
we had a gratuitous boob shot.
We did, yes, from Jamie Lee. That was very nice. Thank her very much for that. Cheers, Jamie Lee. Appreciate that.
Cheers, Jamie. The job. Your doctor did a phenomenal job.
Kyle, have you seen the movie?
I haven't. No.
You haven't? Go watch Trading Places. It's a good movie. You'll actually enjoy it, and you'll enjoy that part too. So it's pretty good.
Right on.
My number 2 Christmas movie would be Christmas Vacation.
Classic.
Classic. It's my favorite of the vacations.
And
sure.
being reborn in memes right now with the stimulation checks.
Yeah, those memes. Yeah, I saw that this morning. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was great. Yeah, the $600 stimulus checks. The rant from him, that was great. You say Grace. Grace died 30 years ago. So, anyway, good movie. And my number 1 movie, my number 1 Christmas movie is Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out.
Yep.
It's just it's my favorite Christmas movie. I actually probably watch half of every showing on the 24 hours during Christmas Eve to Christmas Day when it's on TNT and TBS. But and I actually had the dubious honor of visiting the Christmas Story house in Cleveland last year. That was pretty cool.
Sweet.
But it was pretty neat. And everything's exactly
how
how you saw it in the movie is exactly how it is. So it's pretty cool.
But that is my grievance with the movie is that it takes place in Cleveland.
That is your grievance with the movie. It takes place in Cleveland.
Well, that's where my ex-wife's from. So
there you go. A lot of people put Cleveland down. I actually love the city of Cleveland. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool city.
The Mistake by the Lake.
The Mistake by the Lake, right? Yeah. There's a lot of great beer.
I'm gonna be getting some hate mail from Ohio.
There's a lot of great beer. Folks. I didn't call it the Mistake by the Lake.
Actually, I hope we get some hate mail from Ohio. That means people are actually watching us.
Watching it, right? Exactly. No, I love the city of Cleveland. There's a lot of good beer in Cleveland, and good food too. Really.
Oh, great! The Great Lakes Brew Pub just alone.
Yeah, and one of my favorites, Butcher and Brewer. Mike Simon, the chef, owns Butcher and Brewer, just up the block from Progressive Field. The beer is great, and the food blows the beer away. And it's not just to putting the beer down. The beer is great, but the food's ridiculous, as you would imagine. A celebrity chef is good on the food. But, yeah, those are my movies. Trading Places, Christmas Vacation, and A Christmas Story. What are yours, Mr. Samurai?
Number 3, I've got to go with Nightmare Before Christmas. Love that movie, Tim Burton. It's magical. It's just a wonderful movie. The music gets stuck in your head.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
What's this will get stuck in my head for days after watching that movie. And I just got it stuck in my damn head. Oh, good. It replaced another song that was stuck in my head. These damn earwigs.
I know. We had that conversation, too. Is A Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
He dresses as Santa. It's a Christmas movie. Shut up. And it starts with Halloween ending.
This is true. This is true. So it's both. It's a Halloween movie, a Thanksgiving movie, and a Christmas movie. There's snow. There's elves. And yes, and they do bypass Thanksgiving. They give it a little showing because there's you got the turkey on that one tree. Sure.
But, so number 2, I'm going to move on to number 2, which is John's number 4, by the way. We discussed.
Yes. We discussed this being my number 4. I'll just fill it. There we go.
I don't have to say that again because I froze. Because
you froze.
Scrooged. Yeah. Basically, retelling, a Dickens classic with Bill Murray. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Bill fucking Murray. How can you go wrong? And you've got you've got Carol Kane, you got Buster Poindexter, you got. I'm getting golf. I can't do Bobcat's voice. Who can do Bobcat's voice? That's just such a classic, beautiful movie.
Actually, just to stop you 2 seconds, I actually saw Bobcat Goldthwait one night actually performing like a stand-up in a comedy show. He comes out and everybody's applauding him. They give him a standing O because he was like the headliner that night. Comes out. This is like after he's famous and everything else. And he comes out and he's just looking at everybody, and everybody finally quiets down, and he walks with the mic and goes, "How are you all doing tonight?" Just like that. He's like, and then they're like, "What?" He's like, "What did you expect his voice?" It was pretty funny. So, but anyway.
So my number one's kind of sappy. My number 1 caught me in the feels quite often. And no, it's not a Wonderful Life, because that movie just got overplayed and couldn't take it anymore. But Santa Claus 2.
The Santa Claus 2.
2, but
not 1, not 3.
No, 1 was great.
2.
Loved 1, but 2 was the one where he had to get married.
Yes, he had to get married.
And I had that movie gave me such a chubby for Elizabeth Mitchell. I don't know what it was about her. Just this wonderfulness, but between having Michael Dorn playing he was the Sandman.
Yep.
So you got War from Star Trek Next Generations playing the Sandman. That was awesome, right? And of course, New Jersey legend, even in the brewery world, we had David Krumholtz in that as Bernard the head elf.
Sure.
Right.
Dave's a friend. Dave's a good brewery guy. He actually did an Instagram live and raised money last night. He did 2 of them. He brought people on. He dressed as Bernard the head elf last night, and I think you could still see parts of it on his Instagram if you go to it. But it was pretty cool, and he was bringing people were writing in, and he actually was bringing with their kids, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Bernard the head elf!" So it was pretty cool, and there was donations for some charities and stuff. It was pretty cool. It's pretty neat that he did.
That's cool.
Sweet.
But cool. So you are, what was your number 3 again? I forget. Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm sorry, I was busting your chops. Nightmare Before Christmas, Scrooged, and The Santa Claus 2. Cool, awesome.
Santa Claus 2.
Couple that weren't mentioned. You got to give a nod to Home Alone.
Yes.
You know,
That's a Christmas movie or a Christmas Eve movie?
That's
you got to jump on Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's a Joe Pesci vehicle. That's what that is. But I saw the pop-up about a week or 2 ago. I actually saw the pop-up video, the one that they did or whatever. And one of the things I remember funny at the end was after the whole massacre happened and they all got, all of that, they show Macaulay Culkin standing there. He's in a robe looking at the Christmas tree right after all this happened. And the pop-up video comes up and it says, it takes me 2 weeks to put away my laundry once I do it. This kid cleaned up Massacre House in 40 minutes.
Well, see, we also didn't mention Miracle on whatever number that street. Remember, we're not
34th Street.
34th Street.
34th Street.
Lovely movie, classic movie.
Right.
White Christmas, another classic movie. And these things are even older than us, Kyle.
Yeah, older. Here's another couple that are older than us. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The cartoon. You gotta give a nod to.
But that's not a movie. That's not a movie.
It's a movie for kids. It's a cartoon.
It's not a movie.
It's a cartoon movie.
It's not even a movie.
It's a cartoon. Well, when I was a kid, for me it was a movie, so I'm good.
And the thing is, so you know, when we were kids, if you missed Rudolph, you missed Rudolph for a year.
Yeah.
There was no going out getting.
It was on, whatever day it was going to play. It was on like at 8:00 on Channel 2, and then once it was done, if you missed it, you missed it.
It was always the first Christmas special of the year, and you knew when you heard that bongo music with the word special spiraling in on the screen, you knew to friggin' run and sit your ass down in front of the television.
Absolutely.
Because it'd be another year before you saw it. It made them so much more special. Right?
And Dave and I are so old that we couldn't even videotape it because there were no VCRs back then.
No VCRs.
You missed it. You missed it. That was it. Wait till next year. Sorry, pal.
we weren't even close to TiVo back then, right?
I just want to give you a little side note, Kyle. Dave's actually older than me, so there you go.
got about a year on him.
There you go. All right. Well, this has been awesome.
That's why I can't wait to have Rick Reed on the show. I'll stop being the oldest.
You'll stop being the oldest one on the show. Yeah. He may be on with us next week. So Reverend Rick. And have you ever heard of Cricket Hill Brewing in Jersey?
I haven't, no.
No, yeah, he's like the elder statesman of the craft beer scene in Jersey.
He's a legend. He's a legend in the state. Is one of the oldest breweries in the state.
Yeah.
What is number 2? Number 3?
Number 3. Number 4, actually. Number 4.
4.
Number 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But
nice.
2 and 3 opened like not too long before him either. So. Right. And we all know who number 1 is.
Well, yeah, he'll remind you every time.
He'll remind you every time.
I gotta love Dave. You don't. Yeah, you do.
Which we got Radio Pete from the sports podcast says, I've got a DVD I burned some years ago with Grinch, Rudolph, Santa is coming to town, etc. So he could watch them anytime.
We can go out and buy it, Pete.
I know. He did say he burned it some years ago, and just said now I just stream anytime I want. Technology is great. There you go.
Oh wow.
By the way, I want to point one thing out to you. You see, this is Pete Minetti. This is Radio Pete from our sports podcast. This is his Facebook profile picture right here.
I am actually shocked that a Jets fan knows how to stream anything.
Okay, but do you see who's in the picture?
That's you.
That's not Pete. That's me.
That's you. He made him wear a Jets jersey because the Jets beat the Giants.
There you go. Yes, yeah, that's why.
I remember that bet.
There you go. Awesome. All right. Well, where are we? I want to I want to thank you for coming on. This has been great. Thanks. Kudos to everything you're doing up there. The beer sounds great. Again,
No,
I haven't
it
tasted
is
it yet, and I'm taking obviously Dave's and yours obviously word for it. I mean, I can only imagine it's delicious,
John and
and
my
I can't
palate-
wait to taste it.
John and my palate
Thank you.
are pretty similar. So
yeah, pretty
Awesome.
spot on. So,
and
But-
I have one more question for Kyle before he goes.
Yeah, sure.
Last time we talked, you were talking about bringing the Roush back.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey.
we definitely are. I don't have a set date yet, but it'll be before winter's done. So
nice. That's
Excellent.
awesome. I love a good Roush.
I will be spending 2
Absolutely.
weeks of that winter quarantining after coming back from Florida. So Roush beer might be a good thing
There
to
you go.
quarantine with.
Well, you'll be
would
quarantining and
be.
drinking and doing the podcast too. So I mean, it's
There'll
6
be
of one.
right.
And next week's podcast, I will be in Florida.
Next week's podcast, Dave will be remote from Florida, as opposed to being remote from Rhode Island. So,
And we will be switching to Tuesdays.
yes, everybody listening out there, we will be switching starting next week. We will be switching the craft beer podcast to Tuesdays. So next week's craft beer podcast will be on Tuesday night, not Wednesday. The sports one stays on Wednesday nights, and then from there forward, the craft beer will be every Tuesday night. Sports will be Wednesday night. So, again, thanks, Kyle, for coming on. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Sitting in your car, having some beer with us while you before you go back in and finish working for the night.
Yep.
Just a note, folks. He's just using his car as a house. He's not drinking while he's in the car. So
Correct.
And a clarification: Kyle does not live in his car.
and he doesn't live in his car either.
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but
He doesn't pump that much money back into the brewery.
he's pumping so much money back in the brewery. He's got to live in his car. But
That's right.
at that point, I think he just live at the brewery. But that's besides the point. So.
Right.
Probably warmer, yeah.
Exactly. All right.
John, this fourth one may be going down right now. I give
Oh,
him
you
that.
suck.
Oh, he'll make more.
That's true.
Anyway, all right. That'll wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. And remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday at 5:30. And for those of you that want to just listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Now
TuneIn,
Tuesday.
and Stitcher. What's that?
Now Tuesday.
Yes, now Tuesday. Yes, you're right.
And
I gotta get that.
I just recently started following the podcast.
Well, it's about time. Damn you! You just started following yourself. Yes, every Tuesday going forward at 5:30. And again, for those of you who want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and Stitcher. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great weekend. Kyle, thanks again for coming on with us. Had a great time tonight. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Have a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful Festivus, Christmas Eve, and Christmas End weekend. And we will talk to you soon, guys. Take care. Cheers.
Yeah, we'll see you on
Thanks,
Pinterest.
guys. Yeah.
You got it. Cheers.
All right, guys.
They fell face down in